Today I thought I would update you guys on my top 10 perfumes for life. This was actually the first video that I did on this channel and it's been over a year. We're almost at 100 videos, if not like right at 100 videos on the channel, and I thought it would be interesting to see what's changed. Ideally, I guess, you know, you pick some perfumes for life, they shouldn't change too much, but really this is just giving you the best, I feel like, insight into the top perfumes in my collection. Maybe some things will surprise you, I don't know. It's gonna be fun though. Let me read off, I mean, you can go watch that other video, I'll leave it linked down below, but I'm gonna read off the perfumes that were on my last top 10. So we had MFK Baccarat Rouge, Maison Margiela's replica line By the Fireplace, Labo Thé Matcha, Ariana Grande Cloud, Eccentric Molecules Molecule 01, Fragrance du Bois Minuit Demi, Juliette Has a Gun Sunny Side Up, Kayali Vanilla 28, Mancera Instant Crush, and last Initio Side Effects. So those are the top 10 that I picked. I want to say it was like November, December of 2022. So now we're in May 2024. A lot has changed, a lot has come out, and I'm excited to share with you what's a little different and what stayed the same. I debated on putting this at the end, at the beginning. What am I gonna do? Yeah, MFK Baccarat Rouge 540 still is on the list, okay? This is still probably my #1 perfume, and I say that not that I feel like there aren't smells that I like just as much as this, but I just feel like it fits every single occasion. And I really think if I had no perfumes in my collection, if I was starting over from scratch, if I could only even have one perfume, I just feel like for me this one really does it all. It does it all. I could wear this to bed, I could wear this out, I could wear this in the daytime and the nighttime, I could wear this like any time, okay? This really kickstarted my love of fragrance. I think as it does a lot, it's a very like common and popular one in the niche world, and for me it still holds up. It really does. There's a reason this is duped so often, but if you're not familiar with this is a saffron heavy fragrance. It also has jasmine in it. It's woody, it's ambery, but even saying all those notes out loud, I just feel like there is some je ne sais quoi to this fragrance, in the sense that like it's airy, it's sweet. It really, I feel like, toes the line of being unisex. The way the saffron's done in here is really watery and again kind of airy in a way, but it's just so sweet and kind of toasted smelling. It is just beautiful. If you have not smelled this, I highly suggest checking it out. Obviously I love it, okay? I really do. So many places really have duped this fragrance, and so I feel like if you really don't want to spend the money on this one, I mean there's a way to get around it, but for me, the original, I'm so glad they made this permanent. This was like originally just like a collab between like Baccarat and Maison Francis Kurkdjian, so I'm so glad that they, you know, continue to release this. Just stunning. I mean, this is the big bottle. I've gone through another bottle. I actually have another bottle. Like this rules my life. So still #1. I'll stop talking about it. I've already gone too long about Baccarat, you guys know. All right, #2, and these aren't in order of like 1 to 10, but you know, the second fragrance I'm going to talk about. I love a vanilla, you guys know, and you know, call me basic, I don't care, but Bianco Latte for sure is making this list. Bianco Latte is my favorite. Oh, it's hard to say because I like a lot of vanillas, but definitely high up there when it comes to a vanilla fragrance. So if you have not smelled this, you got to get your nose on it. It is such a sweet, yummy vanilla fragrance. I get almost like a coolness from this fragrance, almost something on the verge of minty. It's not, but I do get something so cold. So it's like vanilla ice cream in a way, but not the way other vanilla ice creams smell to me, because sometimes those can smell syrupy when you get like an ice cream shop kind of vanilla. That's not how this is. It's almost a little powdery, and I know some people describe it as milky and creamy, and I get that, especially once it's on me, but there is this initial, to me, kind of powderiness that's going on. This has notes of caramel, coumarin, honey, vanilla, white musk. I don't really get much of the caramel, and I'm actually kind of glad about that because caramel can sometimes go stinky to me, but this one is just, to me, pure vanilla, so sweet. And let me tell you, this thing lasts. This is expensive, this is niche. It's like $150, I want to say, but if there's a bottle that I feel like is worth it, it is this one. You do not need a lot of this. Sometimes I'll spray a ton of it, but I'm telling you, it will last on you. This sillage, the projection. I've had people stop me, ask me what I'm wearing, literally get their phone out, write it down. Like, this smells so good. And if you are a gourmand lover, if you love vanillas and you haven't gotten your nose on this, I'm telling you, the hype is real online. The hype is so real, so well deserved, and I just love that it also has that performance. I don't always expect performance like that from my fragrances, but I love that this one delivers on it because you smell good all day long, all day long. I also feel like although this is super sweet and I do feel like very engulfing, like it does create like a cloud around you, I think that this works for hotter weather as well for a vanilla. Like I think you can still get away with it. So absolutely love Bianco Latte. One of the top vanillas in my collection for sure. Beat out Tahoda, beat out Kayali Vanilla 28 for sure. Like I love that one. I'm gonna talk about a few other vanillas because as much as part of me was like, don't put too many vanillas in here, do other things, I just feel like it's such an appropriate snapshot of what I would pick for life right now. These are what I would pick right now. And so I'm kind of shocked to have a few designers on here, but Burberry Goddess is an amazing vanilla. And one of the reasons I love this is because it's undoubtedly vanilla. There's like 3 different types of vanilla in here, but there's also lavender, there's also ginger, there's something aromatic, a little bit like spicy, powdery, but it's still really well blended. It still has like a designer DNA about it, but it's still so yummy. And because of all that, I find that this vanilla, although again, so vanilla and kind of edible, is not so edible and is definitely not as edible as Bianco Latte. And so I feel like I can get my vanilla fix while also still feeling really put together, or, you know, going out on a date night. Not that I wouldn't wear this on a date night, I probably would, but there's something a little more cozy and casual about this fragrance. This one like uplifts my mood in a way, but when I really want to be around other people, but let's say for a date night or going out or even like, you know, more business stuff, whatever, I feel like this one's just slightly more appropriate. Again, with the caveats, but you can wear whatever you want anytime, you know, do your thing. But sometimes I want to feel a little bit more put together, and I feel like this gives me that. I love it. I love this fragrance from Burberry. I love the bottle. I mean, I've used almost half of mine up at this point, so I think this is a great vanilla. And it's kind of crazy because price-wise, this is like as much as Bianco Latte, honestly, for the big one. So I love this. I love Burberry Goddess. This came out last year, so it couldn't have even been on my 2022 top 10 for life, but it's made its way on the list now. And there's only one more full-on kind of vanilla, and this one in a way replaced Ariana Grande's Cloud, and instead we have Mod Vanilla from Ariana Grande. I love this, and the reason this one on the list is because this is my overall nighttime perfume. I love wearing this when I'm getting out of the shower and I get into bed. It is sweet, it's girly, it feels clean, but again, still so yummy and edible in a way. So this is my second one. I've already gone through a bottle and I'm over halfway done with this one, and I will continue to repurchase it. Do I love the packaging? No. I don't really love the packaging. It's kind of hard to spray, whatever. The smell itself though, to me, I've described this before, but it is like a vanilla cotton candy. It's like an airy, sugary vanilla instead of like a creamy, fluffy vanilla, and I just feel like that makes it perfect for bed. There is a plum note in here, and I don't necessarily pick up on that in any real way, but there's musks, there's a little bit of freesia, but then there's praline, orris root, vanilla, and cacao butter. I'm obsessed with it. I think it smells so good. This one grew on me. When I first got it, I was like, okay, it's fine, but over time, it's obviously made its way in the top 10, and I just couldn't not put it on this list because I do really wear it, and I feel like one of my top 10s, like when I was thinking of what I'm gonna put in here, I wanted stuff that I've like proven to myself that I would wear over and over and over. There are some scent profiles out there that I love, maybe even sometimes more than these ones, but I wouldn't want to wear them over and over if they were the only 10 in my life, whereas the ones here, I feel like I really would be okay wearing over and over if they were like all that was in my collection. So Mod Vanilla from Ariana Grande made the list. Okay, a few that still are on the list. I do still have Labo Thé Matcha on here. This is probably one of the heavier fragrances. I don't even consider this that heavy, but I do think it works for fall time if you wanted to, or some colder weather, because to me it's such a cozy fragrance. As the name suggests, it is a matcha scent, but there's also some fig in here. The vetiver comes across definitely as well, and I find this like powdery, creamy, earthy, a little bit sweet to my nose, and the wear for me on this is kind of like a velvety blanket. Like it just is so cozy and beautiful. It doesn't necessarily have a ton of projection, but I do find it creates a really nice scent bubble, and for me it lasts so long on my clothes. I can wash my clothes and still kind of smell this on them afterward, like, ooh, I wore that shirt with Thé Matcha, I can still smell it. Like that's happened multiple times. It was a love at first sniff. The moment I smelled this, I knew there was fig. I was like, I can tell there's fig in here for sure. It's woody. It just is so me, and I think it's a great signature. If you haven't smelled this from Le Labo, I want to say it's my favorite one. I like Santal 33. I like Thé Noir as well, and if you like Thé Noir, I would check this one out because to me, they're kind of like cousins or something. Like they have something similar about them, but I love that this scent could just be something you wear all the time. It can wear all day into the night. It can wear through multiple seasons. So I just love this. I love it. And I'm making a decent dent on this baby. Like I said, I've had it since it came out. It came out in 2021. So, you know, I've had my bottle a while, but it's just one that makes me so happy and I continuously reach for. And I do feel like it's a very unique fig fragrance as well. I don't think most of the fig fragrances that come out smell like this. So I love it. I absolutely love Thé Matcha. And the only other one that still made it on the list is Juliette Has a Gun Sunny Side Up. Now, I can't lie. I don't wear this one, or at least I haven't been wearing this one as much as I used to, but this is one of those creamy lactonic sandalwood type of fragrances. And I still just love this type of profile. I really do. There's some coconut milk in here. There's jasmine, ISO-E Super. So it really has that molecular woody kind of scent, but the sandalwood in here is like my favorite type of sandalwood where it's creamy. It feels soft. Like it feels like a soft sandalwood. It's so good. It's musky, and I feel like this one is one I can go anosmic to, but it still lasts on me, and I do get a lot of compliments when I wear this. And I also love pairing it with Baccarat. That's one of my favorite combinations, so I had to put this one in here still. I feel like it's my type of summery kind of coconut woody fragrance as well. There are other things that kind of smell like this out there, but this is the one I always go back to. I just absolutely love it. It really does feel like one of those fragrances that is me. Like it feels like the smell of me, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's still kind of rare to come by. Like I have a lot of fragrances like Bianco Latte, I love, I wear it all the time, but I still don't think of it as me. This one and Thé Matcha feel a little, I don't know, closer to my soul in a way. Like I know that sounds so dramatic, it's true, okay? It's true. There's something about this fragrance that just feels like, oh, that's me in a bottle, and it's still in my top 10. I absolutely freaking adore this. All right, I feel like I'm gonna shock you with these last four here. I would have never guessed. I'm blindsiding myself, to be honest, but I have another designer here, Flowerbomb from Viktor and Rolf. I know, can you believe it? There's just something about this. This has grown on me so much. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I used to not like this. It used to be too much for me, but now, ooh, baby, this is to me sexy, feminine, girly, playful. It's super sweet, but there's something spicy going on, something a little bit green and floral, but then it's all like wrapped up in this really fluffy vanilla. And I'm like obsessed. I'm like obsessed with it now. I love it. There's a tea note in here and I feel like it gives it a little bit of lift. And for it being floral, I don't find this overly floral, which I mean, it's called Flowerbomb, you would think, but again, there's something kind of syrupy sweet about this that I feel like balances out those florals so nicely. There's osmanthus, orchid, jasmine, rose, freesia, African orange flower. Like there's a lot of flowers in here. And I would even say that the patchouli in here is pretty prominent. I feel like that's what's giving it this kind of spicy sexiness to it, but I think it's done so well. And again, I think the vanilla just softens everything and just combines it in such a beautiful way. I think it's a classic. I love wearing this on a date night. Sam loves this now too, and I feel like he didn't even love it initially. It's just grown on both of us. I think there's a reason it's been so popular. I get it. I get the hype. Sometimes it clicks with you, and I'm sure this has been reformulated over the years, but I have like a newer bottle and I think it smells amazing. So love this fragrance. In the top 10, I feel like it's the only one kind of like this in here that I feel like has a little bit of something sexy going on. Not that like Baccarat isn't sexy or some of these other ones couldn't be, but I would say this is the most overtly like designer, girly, feminine, sexy fragrance in here to me, and I'm a little shocked by it, but I freaking love this and I definitely wanted it in my top 10. All right, number 8. This is one that couldn't have been in my top 10 before because it wasn't out yet, and this came into my life last year, last summer. Obsessed. It is one of my top favorite fragrances. I highly suggest it, and it is Sous le Pont Mirabeau from Etat Libre d'Orange, and this is a beautiful woody kind of marine, kind of aquatic and aromatic fragrance. Super unisex on this one, but it is so fresh. There's almost something from this that comes across a little watermelony or a little cucumbery along with those woody notes. There's a fig leaf note in here, which I really love. There's also something a little bit spicy in the top. There's some pink pepper, and I feel like it is just so good. Definitely aquatic. You get like a seaside smell from it almost, but don't let that scare you if you're not into something aquatic, if you're not into something marine, because I would not describe myself as like loving that as a category overall, but but there's something about this fragrance that's just done so right. It has a very woody base. There's sandalwood and cedar in here, and I think that grounds it so well. There's also some musk and vanilla in the base, and that vanilla is just very light. Again, just kind of rounding some things out. It's just beautiful. I think there's something really chic about this fragrance. It works so well in high heat. If it's just disgusting out, you will feel cool and refreshed from this fragrance. It's just like a cool girl fragrance. Again, so unisex, and to me, just one of my favorite scents. I love that me and Sam both want to wear this. Like, I love that. Highly suggest sampling this if you haven't. You can get this at Twisted Lily. I have a code with them. I'll have all that down below. I did get sent this from Twisted Lily initially, but the dent is real. I have like made such a dent in this for the time that I've had it, and they do samples if you don't have like a shop near you where you could go smell this in store. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woody fragrance. Love this. All right, the last two fragrances in here are actually both Parfums de Marly, which is crazy because I only have 2 fragrances from them. Valleja had to make the list. This is so, I feel like, unique to my collection, and just like unique. It's ozonic. It's again another woody kind of fragrance, but there's also citruses in here. There's a little peach in here. There's also some orange flower, I believe, and you get all that, but it's really well mixed overall, and it just feels airy. It feels like the clouds. It smells like crystal. I don't know, there's something about it. It's just so good. It's like addictive. It's so addictive. I believe there's ambroxan in here too, but that kind of muskiness to this fragrance, it lasts all day. This thing does not come off, okay? The smell almost stains you in a way because it's so strong. Again, all day wear, compliment getter. Like, I've had so many people compliment me on this fragrance, and I find it so unique, and it's one of those ones where when I read the notes, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but of course I wanted to smell it from the counter. I bought this right when it launched, and I don't know about you, but when a new fragrance is launched, it can be easy to get excited about it, and you're in store and you're smelling it and all that, and I was kind of like, man, am I just excited because it's a new perfume from Parfums de Marly? It's gonna be my first Parfums de Marly fragrance. Is that why? And I can say, again, the dent doesn't lie, but also, no, this has just only grown on me. I think it's so beautiful, so unique, a great woody fragrance that has something a little bit different to it. Obsessed with that fragrance. And last on the list, I feel like this one for me was my wild card fragrance, the one that I feel like does not fit the other ones at all. Like, this one is really, if none of those sound good, this one will be perfect for me, and I love equally as much, even though I'm shocked by that. And that is Delina La Rose. I love this Delina. I think the regular Delina and Delina Exclusive are pretty nice, don't get me wrong, but Delina La Rose is just the rose fragrance for me right now. Like, oh my gosh, it's this watery, beautiful rose. I believe there might be some peony in here, and so it definitely has that kind of like watery floral quality to it. Perfect amount of sweetness. There's something kind of citrusy going on too, which I feel like just gives rose a little bit of brightness. I really like that kind of pairing because rose can be a little powdery. Sometimes it can be a little spicy, and I can get down with a rose, but not usually like this. Not usually where it would be in a top 10. Definitely not where rose usually is for me. This also, of course, has the lychee in here, which gives it, again, that brightness and something a little bit tart, has a little bit of bite to it. And then in the base, you have the musks, you have the woods, which I really need those notes. If you can't tell from the other fragrances I picked out, I like something woody. I need that to ground it, and to me, that's like a baseline. And so in that dry down, it just smells clean without going soapy, without feeling astringent. It's feminine and light and uplifting and so beautiful. I've loved it this spring. I bought it a little bit early. I got it on a great deal on Joma Shop, and I'm so glad I bought it. It's just beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Definitely a little bit, again, different for the other top 10, but one that I just felt like undoubtedly belonged in here. So that's my current top 10, my updated top 10 for life. There might have been some shockers in there. We had some repeats. I'm glad at least some things moved over, but it's interesting to see how your tastes change over time. Like, I still love Side Effect, but even when I smell it now, as much as I love it, I don't think it deserves a top 10. It was definitely still hard to narrow this down. I thought about Angel Share. I was like, I really wanted to put that in here, but I decided against it. Even some of the Kayali, I have some newer niche perfumes that I was like toying with, but I feel really confident in this top 10 as a snapshot as to what my palette is right now, what I would, if I had to right now, bring with me into the next lifetime of perfume. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your top 10 for life would be down below. I definitely want to continue to update this as the channel continues, as I continue to explore new perfumes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do want to say quickly here, I do have that sniff video coming. If you're waiting on that, I know it's taking a little bit of time because it is kind of a big video, but I am going to be out of town, but that's my first one back that I'm going to make sure is up for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day and I will see you in the next one. Bye.